Welcome back to Wise Man Company, fellas. Ben here, and today we're going to take a look at the AR-15 you absolutely should buy if you can only buy one. It's the best one, I think, for your hard-earned money currently as of 2025, and it is the Griffin Armament Mk2. I don't say this stuff lightly. In fact, I don't even like making videos on AR-15s. There's a million of them out there. They're boring. They've been done to death. So if I'm going to say this and take the time to make the video, I want you to understand that I truly believe that there's value in this rifle that is slept on. $1,700 for the Griffin Mk2. I know I can already hear some of you balking at that price, $1,700 but probably because you've bought 5 to 6 ARs recently at a $500 to $600 price point. Congratulations, you have $3,000 worth of AR-15s that are just meh. I want you to understand a good rifle is the sum of its components, but also how those components are put together, the tolerances, the QC, etc. When we're talking about $1,700 price point, that's kind of in that mid-tier price point. There's definitely ARs that are more expensive that might use a little bit better quality components, but there's not many manufacturers out there that are doing it. Manufacturers like Daniel Defense, you're going to pay $2,000. Even Bravo Company, BCM, you're going to pay more than that price point for a complete rifle. And honestly, those rifles are okay. They're fine. I don't think they're as good as this Griffin Mk2. Even the new Aero Pros. So the Aero came out with their new Pro Series. You're going to pay $2,000 for a complete rifle from Aero. When Aero is kind of known as that budget AR-15 company, $2,000 for their Pro Series. And I still think that this Mk2 is better than those names I just mentioned. Let's get into the specs and I'll show you what you're actually paying for. All right, starting at the rear, let's get this out of the way. The furniture, this is not the furniture that comes on it. You're gonna get the Griffin Armament furniture, which is perfectly acceptable. I swapped it out because I like consistency across my AR-15s. I typically use a B5 stock and a BCM grip. It's familiar to me. I have a lot of time on that stock and that grip, so I like to outfit everything the same. Again, the furniture that comes from Griffin Armament, and you can only get if you buy one of their rifles, is perfectly acceptable. It's good furniture. I'm just trying to keep it consistent. The next thing to note is the buffer tube and buffer system. It's their SOB system. It tones down the recoil of the rifle significantly. This is something you don't get from a lot of AR-15 manufacturers. You just get a overgassed carbine buffer that's punchy, and when you put a suppressor on it, it becomes even more punchy. The SOB system, I can run a suppressor, I can run unsuppressed, and I get that consistency and I get a really soft shooting gun. So that right there is a huge plus in this rifle. As we move forward, we have their Snatch AR charging handle. It's an Ambi charging handle. Nothing really to note there. It's got like some medium Ambi latches on it. Good to go. The upper receiver and the lower receiver, there's no wobble between them. It's nice and tight. They're secure. There's no play there. Your upper receiver is just like a standard mil-spec upper receiver with the Griffin Armament bolt carrier group inside of it. Griffin Armament did just release a new bolt carrier group. It's kind of optimized for sound for suppression and keeping down the sound, particularly for your right ear. Haven't tried that yet. This is just their plain bolt carrier group in here. It's been great for me. The lower receiver is an ambidextrous lower receiver, so all Ambi controls on here. If your preferred AR manufacturer isn't producing a lower receiver with ambidextrous controls, you should honestly ask, why not? Every AR should be ambidextrous now. It is easy to do. It's not complicated. There's a million ways to do it. I'm not left-handed, but I find myself using the ambidextrous controls a lot, whether it's to fix a malfunction, if I don't want to relinquish that fire control hand, it makes operating the gun a lot easier. If I do hand it off to a lefty at a class or something like that, they can run the gun. Again, there's just no reason not to have ambidextrous controls. It just makes the gun that much better. So, Ambi controls. The lower receiver also has a naturally flared magwell, something AR manufacturers should be doing no matter what out of the box. I don't need to add another magwell to the lower receiver. A little bit of flare makes reloads a lot easier. Integrated trigger guard at the bottom, all one piece. That's a nice touch. Trigger inside is a 4.5-pound 2-stage trigger from Griffin Armament. Not the best trigger in the world, but it is much better than the majority of the stock triggers you're going to get in these AR-15s. If you want something a little lighter, a little crisper, take your pick on the market. There's a ton of aftermarket triggers for the AR-15. But the one that is in it is perfectly acceptable, and I won't be changing it. All right, let's move forward to the rail. So the rail is a 14-inch rail. It's M-LOK. It is nice and thin. Not really anything too frilly around about it. It's got great lockup to the upper receiver. You can see these panels I got on here to mitigate heat, add a little grip. It's got a little bit of a hand stop. These come with the rifle. They are the Griffin Armament rail panels. I like them. I was at a class recently and somebody asked me, hey Ben, why don't you have a hot pocket on there? And I said I will be putting a hot pocket on here, but I wanted to use these rail panels just to give you guys some perspective, some feedback on them. They're nice. They do add a little bit of bulk to the rail, but again, you're getting that grip, a little bit of heat mitigation, not as good as a hot pocket, and you're getting a hand stop. So that comes with the rifle, nice little perk. Underneath the rail, we have a 14.5-inch pin and welded. Little side note, they don't charge you extra to pin and weld a device on the end of this, where most manufacturers will charge extra. You just pick one of the Griffin's muzzle devices and they'll pin and weld it on there for you. The barrel is 416R stainless, and it is a beefy barrel, nice and robust, very accurate. I've been shooting the 69 grain AAC out of it and the 77 grain AAC. The 69 grain AAC grouped under an inch at 100 yards, 6-shot group, very tight, to be expected. At least that's what I would expect out of a rifle of this price point. So good to go there. And the gas block on the barrel is pinned. If you want a robust rifle, if you want a bomb-proof rifle, I highly recommend that the gas block is pinned, or at least dimpled. A big culprit when we're talking about reliability is that gas block either becoming off-center or working its way off. And if you pin it, or at least dimple it, that is less likely of a chance to happen. So this gas block is pinned on there. You can tell they tuned the gas a little bit. It's not over-gassed. If I ever need to get that gas block off there, I can just punch that pin out. But yes, pin your gas blocks, or at least dimple it. They're doing that. That pinned muzzle device on the end that I talked about is a flash hider from Griffin Armament. It uses their dual lock system. The dual lock system is really easy to use. It doesn't really get carbon locked on. Griffin Armament suppressors are really great. The dual lock system, really great. If you're getting a device pinned onto the rifle, you'll have to choose a Griffin Armament device, but that's not a problem because the dual lock system is great and their flash hiders, muzzle brakes are awesome, and there's a bunch to choose from. So not really a negative. I'd consider it a plus. Again, no additional charge for that pin weld on the end of this 14.5. Some of the little extras to talk about: Griffin Armament flip-up sights. These are great backup irons. I'm not a big proponent of backup irons, but these are good because they're out of the way. You forget about them. They only take up like one Picatinny slot on the top rail. They're just really, really convenient if you're going to put them on a rifle. A QD socket here that can adjust. You can run it any part of the top part of the rail. I have it here towards the middle. QD socket for your sling. Lunar Concepts 2-point baseline sling. You can get these on our website. Things that are not from Griffin Armament. Surefire Turbo here. Really like Surefire lights. Tried a bunch of different other manufacturers, and the durability from Surefire just always is there. No flickering, great switches, everything works as it's intended. Surefire lights have been my go-to as of lately. Optics on top, got the Voodoo 1 to 10. I've had this for a while, have a review on it. Great piece of glass, and the Steiner MPS piggybacked on top. Reptilia mount that holds it all together. 100 concepts, flip up caps. So those are some of the other little add-ons to these rifle, but the rifle itself, I mean, is just a great AR-15. Not just because of the components, not just because of the rail or the trigger. You know, that's what people really look at, like, oh, you get this trigger or you get this barrel. Components are good, but how is it put together? Griffin Armament does a lot of testing. There's shooters over there. They've put this gun together, and it's an incredibly soft shooting, accurate rifle. This isn't the only one I've ever shot. A lot of my buddies run Griffins. Eric over at Barrel and Hatchet has a Griffin or two, and I've always been impressed with them. For $1,700, it is extremely hard to find a better AR-15 straight from the manufacturer. I'm sure there might be one out there, but I haven't found it yet. If you know of one, put it down in the comments below. Again, if you're a serious shooter and you don't want just the run-of-the-mill AR-15, if you shoot a lot and you need that durability and performance, I would highly recommend checking out the Griffin MK2. I really would. I don't think you'll be disappointed in the least bit. All right, guys, my name's Ben. Thanks for watching. If you want to support us, go to wisemancompany.com. That's the best way to support us. And there's a ton of great gear over there for you guys to pick up. It's fast shipping, it's high quality, and it supports us directly. So thank you. See you on the next video.